Started on that couch, couldn't catch my breath. Rob's got that Stoke voice, Ben's coaching best. Emma joined the crew, brought balance to the mess. From zero to hero, community blessed. And we are live, that's how we start. 3 voices strong, 1 beating heart. Couch to coach, we're building art. Every step we take, we're playing our part. Keep running, that's what we do. Keep running, me and you. Keep running, through and through. Keep running, the whole crew. Keep running, dreams come true. Keep running, I'm talking to you.
And we are live via Yendaz, apparently.
VM what?
Via Yendaz. That's and we are live in Turkish, apparently, according to Google Translate.
Why we are live in Turkish?
On YouTube. We are live on YouTube, and the reason why I introduced us in Turkish and we are live is because we are joined by Emma Bridges, who is in Turkey, I believe.
I'm on my holidays.
She's on her holidays, but she's dedicated that she's joined us from Turkey. Ben joined from Florida. Emma's joined from Turkey. I'm going to Cape Verde in 41 days.
Oh.
Am I going to come in from Cape Verde?
Not a chance.
Maybe.
I think you will. I think you will. Yeah, because
on my honeymoon. Do you really think Laura will let me join whilst in Cape Verde on my honeymoon?
I think you'll miss us that much that you'll need to do it.
Put it this way: if he doesn't join, the podcast won't happen for those days that he's not here.
You set it up.
We don't know.
If you don't join, set it up.
Okay, and edit it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are live on YouTube. So if you are listening on YouTube, let us know that you are listening. So we've got Caroline Morris says hello. Jack Stewart says hello. Jack, you let me down. You were supposed to go and pinch all of Emma's segments. We will come on to that in a minute.
For those watching on YouTube as well, if I keep turning my head, it's because I've got myself a second screen. So I'm actually looking at what's going on this screen. I'm not just trying to get my best side every now and then.
I can't see the comments, which normally I can see the comments and who's watching, and I can't, so I feel a little bit lost.
Don't worry, we'll let you know if anybody says anything.
Penny's in, Ben Freeman's in.
Ben Freeman, what's occurring? Penny says, team. Hiya, Ben. Hiya, Penny. Hiya, James. So James running early. Cheers. She's drinking a cocktail. I'm sat here with my water. Ben sat there with his electrolytes.
Electrolytes and magnesium. Let's address the elephant in the room. What is it you're drinking? What cocktail have you got? What's your cocktail of choice?
I didn't think it standard. He came in and said, right, I'll leave you to it.
Right.
Is it good? It's been done going, oh, you can podcast on your holiday and I'll bring you a cocktail.
Yeah, I think they've gone bed. I think they're knackered.
I think they've gone bed. So, yes, we are live. Emma is in Turkey. She has decided to join us. I genuinely think because she's probably won the challenge and also she's probably won Sexy Graph. So that's probably the reason why she's decided to join us. If she'd have lost the segment challenge... She'd have lost the segment challenge and lost Sexy Graph. That would have been interesting to see if she joined us or not.
Rob, should we pull OG ranks here?
OG ranks.
Let's pull OG ranks and set Emma a challenge.
While she's away?
No, right now. By the end of this episode, she needs to have gone and interviewed a local about their running.
No chance. They're all scary.
You need to find somebody in the hotel lobby. Listeners, if you're watching and you think Emma should do it at the end of the show.
Like Annika Rice used to do.
Like Annika Rice. She's got to find somebody in the hotel lobby or the pool that looks like a runner and ask them what their PB times are.
Trust me, none of them like runners.
Julianne, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Julianne's on holiday as well. So Julianne is joining us from holiday. And the Jack Stewart says she can't see the comments, so let's be horrible. Emma is leathered.
But she does need to go and find a local by the pool and ask them what their PB times are. Me and Rob have pulled OG ranks. You got to do it.
I can't even turn my camera around to show you everybody, but there's no runners here.
Is that the pool behind you? What's that behind you?
No, that's just... I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Have you got a gym in the hotel?
Yeah, I'm hitting it tomorrow.
go to the gym and interview someone now on their PB times?
What if I lose signal? Hang on.
No, don't. Just stay still. Just stay still. Because
Rob's keen to get going.
yeah, just stay still because I don't want you to lose signal and then end
I
up
need to
having
put
to
my
bring
shoes
you back
back on.
in. So, ordinarily, what we would do is we would do the normal episode here, and we bring a guest in if we had a guest, and we talk about our running, my running, Ben's running, Emma's running, and then couch to coach news. However, we decided to switch it up a little bit. Me and Ben had a conversation over the weekend, and we involved them via text, and we decided that we're going to try today on the live to do the 5 with the listeners, the stryvar leaderboard, the shout outs, and then Emma teaches Strava just to see how it goes. So if anybody likes that format so it goes out on a Monday on a live on YouTube, then it will be clipped up to go out on Wednesday, and then also on after
Just
this.
spotted the Garmin.
Spotted the I think Jack's right. She is 11. And then on the Friday, the episode will be recorded, pre-recorded, and sent out on a Friday. So if we've got any guests and our running and everybody else is running, we will do on that episode. So let us know your thoughts in the comments now on YouTube, and also we'll clip up a little bit and ask people for their opinions on Instagram, and we can go back to the way it was before. We're just trying something different, mixing it up a little bit. So, who's got the Garmin? And it's not caught me down.
No, they've gone. They've walked past.
That quick?
Yeah.
That quick?
But you were mid-flow, so I didn't want to ask them if they were wearing a Garmin whilst you were mid-flow.
So for those that are tuning in live, we are interviewing. Well, we can't really say interviewing because we don't really interview Ken. Ken just goes on about NSRRA, and we let him crack on. He just goes away with it. So we are speaking to Ken Rushton after this. That episode will be going out on Friday. So if anybody's interested in NSRRA update, I think I've said too many R's there, please listen to the episode on Friday. And also for my running, hopefully, I'm not sure if Emma's going to be staying because cocktails are calling, and I presume it's later there. Is it 2 hours? 2 hours ahead?
It's 20 to 11, so I'm staying for this bit, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay. And then we'll do Emma's running when she comes back from.
What she means is she's been cut off at the bar because she's had one too many.
Yeah.
No, I'm not drunk.
That's what she means by going to bed.
I'll send you my running in a voice note so you can put me in.
Oh yeah, of course. And Chris is in Spain as well. So we've got Emma in Turkey, and we've got Julianne on holiday, and also Chris on holiday, all joining us.
International listeners and
international listeners, yeah.
So who would you say in the running community knows you the best, Emma, at the moment?
I agree.
Out of your running friends, who would you say knows you the best right now? Probably
Jack. Spends a lot of time with me.
And so Jack said that you were leathered. Someone else, Laura Beach, says looks like you're having a good night. So
I'm not leathered.
I think it's
They've
safe
watered
to say
these drinks down.
probably
I
one
promise.
over.
Julianne says, I feel like I want to play Uno with Em. Lol.
Well, Oliver's just beat me at a game of cards. And we all put a tenner in, so he's won 30 quid, and then
that's his way of paying for the holiday then. So that's his spending money. He's going to win every day. He's going to win 30 quid. So, shall we have a listen to the 5 with the listeners? So last week we had nobody nominated because Becca set it a challenge, which we'll come on to in a minute. So we decided to nominate somebody, and we wanted to hear a little bit more from Sean Fern. So we've known Sean. I've known Sean for a bit longer than probably Emma, because of the Couch to Coach podcast. She listened to the podcast and she contacted us and reached out to us quite a while back. And then we've also met Sean, and Emma's met Sean as well on a couple of occasions. So we wanted to know a little bit more about Sean. So we asked her to record a 5 with the listeners, and this is Sean's 5 with the listeners, hopefully. Hang on. He says.
Five with the listeners, 5 with the listeners, 5 with the listeners.
pretty standard question. So question number 1, what is your name and what run club do you run for?
5 with the listeners, 5 with the listeners, 5 with the listeners. My name is Sean Fern and I run with the amazing and supportive South Cheshire Harriers.
Question number 2. What is your running plan for 2025? So what races do you plan to enter? What are your goals? Do you have a big race in mind? What are your A goals and your B goals? Let us know.
My running plan for 2025, including my races and goals. So I started out in my wheelchair in only March of this year. Due to multiple sclerosis or MS stopping me from running nowadays since last year. So my first goal of this year was to do a race in my chair. I managed to do that at the Alderley Edge Bypass 10k. And then I guess my next goal is to do the Great North Run this year, raising money for the MS Society. I've never rode that far before, so it will definitely be a challenge. Following that, I hope to get faster, getting a proper racing chair rather than the day chair that I've currently got, and then eventually do a marathon, but that won't be until 2026.
Question number 3, what is your why? So why do you run?
What is your why? I guess my why has definitely altered since 2022 with my shock diagnosis of MS. I used to just run to challenge myself mentally, challenge myself and stay mentally and physically healthy. It helps so much with my mental health, and it definitely still does. Since 2022 and having what was known as a relapse, which led to the diagnosis of MS, I do it to stay physically healthy for my MS, mentally healthy, and for the social side of it. And lastly, for my sense of purpose and to keep a part of me that I've always known. Ever since a young age, I've always ran, with my first race being the Malcott Killer Mile. What a race. That was because I went to primary school up there. To suddenly have running taken away from you is mentally difficult, and it's definitely a grieving process. So to keep in with everything such as races and park runs, I bought a wheelchair. This is helping me to somewhat keep in with the running community, although it's not the same as it was before. I love park run. It definitely helps to keep me in. And having the wheelchair was my last option. I'd already walked with a stick to help with balance, and due to the foot drop, sometimes you have to look outside the box to stay in it.
Question number 4. What are your PBs at distances from 5k all the way through to an ultra, if you've done one?
My PBs are 5k 23:54 at Crewe Park Run, 10k 47:39 at Market Drayton 10k in 2017. Half marathon was Stafford in 2019 at 1 hour 50, and my marathon time was 4:02:46 in 2016 at York. Unfortunately, I've never done an ultra, but I wish I had, and if you get the chance to do it, then definitely do one.
Question number 5, what is your best piece of advice you've ever given somebody or been given by somebody about running?
The best piece of advice I've ever been given or ever given: don't stop. Don't stop during a race. Carry on walking if you have to. Don't stop exercising, and don't stop with running until you have to. And even then, look outside the box to continue to do what you love.
Number 6 is to either nominate somebody else to do the 5 with the listeners, or ask us a question which we'll answer on the podcast, or you could set us a challenge to do on the Couch to Coach podcast, and that can be for either myself or Rob or both of us.
Lastly, I nominate Ben Freeman from the South Cheshire Harriers. Good luck, Ben. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Sean. And thank you for listening, but also thank you for letting us know about you and the diagnosis of MS. I know that Emma talked about it a couple of weeks ago and how emotional she got whilst talking to her about MS and how running was a big part of her life. I know that she can't run anymore at the moment, and she is getting around in a wheelchair when she's doing park run. And she goes to Congleton Park Run quite often, and she came to the Whammy when we had our first meet up. So she's a massive part of this community. So massive shout out to you, Sean, for doing that for us. It must be one of the worst things that could happen to anybody is your hobby has to come to an end through your physical health. But she is trying to keep that part with the social aspect and coming along to the park runs in a wheelchair, which I give massive respect to. So thank you, Sean.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever thought about how lucky I am to be a runner until I met Sean, and it's just incredible that she's still getting out there, and like she said, she's thinking outside the box, she's using her chair, and she's just such a lovely person. So it's kind of hit home in a way for me, meeting Sean, that don't take it for granted and just enjoy it and enjoy the process, enjoy your training, enjoy the community, because we're lucky that we can run.
Yeah, massively. And we've got a couple of comments here. So Laura Beach says, such an inspiring story. Thank you for sharing, Sean. Caroline Morris, is there any fundraising for sports wheelchair? I actually did think that, I had thought that when I listened to the 5 of the listeners, maybe we could do something. So maybe watch this space. Maybe we could do something. Not sure how much a sports wheelchair would cost. Maybe I'll speak to Sean and maybe we can have a look into it. Maybe we could do a bit of a Couch to Coach fundraise and do something. If people are up for that, let us know. Watch the space with that. Jack says, had the pleasure of meeting Sean at Congleton and the Whammy, an amazing woman, absolutely. And Julianne says, awesome. And Ben Freeman says, thank you. So Ben, I will be in contact with you to do the 5 with the listeners for us. If you're willing and up for it, let me know. Just put in the comments if you are, and then I can get in contact with you. I think it might take its way through South Cheshire Harriers this time.
It's that thing, and when you look at your running and you think, like, I can't be asked to go out and do a session, or I can't be asked to go and do 45 minutes, or can't be asked to go and do whatever you've got. And that's simply because you might have had a bad day, or you might be feeling a bit lazy. And I think Sean's story is, it really hits you when you think, like, the bit where she's like, don't stop running, don't stop for whatever reason. And I think it's really important to take every opportunity to go out and run for granted. You should just go and do it and lace your trainers up and get out there, even if it's for 20 minutes. I think it's really important.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And I think, like I say, she's still going and she still wants to be part of that community, which is really nice to see. So massive thank you, Sean, for doing that. And I will see you at Great North Run, hopefully. I'm not sure what time your wave goes. I can't remember what time my wave goes, but I know there's quite a few people doing it. So Steve Hallows, Sally Hallows, I know Rob Moran's doing it as well. So there's quite a few people that I know that are going to be doing the Great North Run. So hope to see you there, Sean, on the 7th of September, which is 2 weeks yesterday. So.
Oh God, yeah, it is, because that's also
That's
the
what it's doing.
Great Grind Day.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit scared.
So we will revisit the opportunity to potentially do some fundraising for Sean, potentially.
Yeah.
We'd have to speak to Sean, obviously, to see if she's happy for us to do something, but watch this space, guys. Watch this space.
That'd be great.
Shall we talk about the challenge set by Becca last week? So the challenge was
If we have to.
If we have to. The challenge was to claim as many segments as you can in the week. And I started on 3. Ben started on 3. Emma started on 32, I want to say. Was it 32?
Yeah.
So how many did you end up with, Emma?
40.
40. So that's 8 new segments. You lost a few as well, I believe.
Yeah. Somebody went out and stole a few.
But did you
That
reclaim
was
them or?
highlight of the week. That was highlight of the week.
It wasn't for me.
Did you have to go out and reclaim them or not?
I've not reclaimed them ones, but I will.
So you did 10 new ones then in total?
Yeah.
If you have them 2 on. Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's 8.
But it was good because I've been doing a lot of recce's on the Gritstone Trail in preparation for the Gritstone grind in 2 weeks, and I'd done a bit of revision, and I knew that if I did another recce and then looped it back round to home, that I would get 6 in one run.
So she texted us when we were at Deadly Dozen a screenshot of 6 local legends in a row, and we were like, how the hell has she done that? She's done a 21-mile run and she's claimed 6 in a row. It's crazy.
I waited for you to both finish. And then I sent it.
You may have won this one, but you haven't won the war because Jack Stewart has said you are not getting them back.
Well, I own Jack Stewart's plane, so.
How many did you end up with, Ben?
You, mate. I ended up with 6. So the thing is, I had an extra 3 on top of what I started with. Now, I did enjoy it because what it actually did, a couple of things I want to add. So there's one on my local session loop. There goes the balloons again. Stupid things. There's one on my session loop which I knew I could claim. So I basically just did a session and I got it. And then I kind of I needed to just put one more on just to be safe. So I did that. But then there was another segment which I thought I studied it, and it had only been ran 6 times in the 90 days. So I was like, I can have that one as well by doing just this loop. So basically, I ran out to do the one that I needed to kind of just be sure that I would get, which was called Roundabout to Gilhurst. And then I came back and I did this loop of this park pathway and round, which was about 1 kilometre. And I just kept doing that until I claimed that one. So I quite enjoyed that. But what it did teach me was in the week for me to claim some more, I needed to go and do my sessions, but not just favour running on flat session paths. So actually it made my sessions a bit harder because I needed to deviate away from a normal session route, which I liked because no race you do is ever flat. So I was actually doing session on undulating pathways.
Yeah.
And it makes you stronger as a runner. So it's something I will consider doing a lot more of, actually, and attacking some segments and getting some local legends. But I finished on 6. Rob, how many did you end up on?
So you finished on 6, so you had 3.
I had 3. Plus 3.
Yeah, so I'm not going to reveal how many I finished on just yet. So
Why
I
did you
started off with 3, and I didn't think about it really until the weekend. I thought to myself yesterday, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out. And I put a video on Instagram for people that have seen it. And I thought to myself, well, I'm going to get in the car, drive to a segment, run that segment, get them back in my car, drive to another segment, do that segment, and then go to another segment and try and do it that way. And I thought to myself, I might pick up a few that way. So I did a bit of research, and there was a few around me that were like 1 or 2. And I thought, right, I'm going to go to this one. So I went to the first one. And I looked at it about 4 or 5 times before going, and then looked at it about 4 or 5 times in the car before setting off. Parked halfway, so I ran up to start where I thought it started from, and ran to where I thought it ended, and then ran back, and then ran it again, and then ran to my car because it only had one person doing it one time. And it wasn't an easy one, it was an undulating one. It was quite a difficult one to do. So I was like, right, done that, walked back to my car. I was like, yeah, I've done it. Got back in the car, looped, I was like, why ain't it registered? I thought it might take a while for it to register. So I sat there for about 10 minutes thinking, oh, it'll register. And then I looped, and I'd done it the wrong bloody way.
But if you were going back and forth,
I know. I thought
how
that
does
as
that
well.
matter?
It
Did
clearly
you see
didn't
the state
register.
of the map, though? He
Oh yeah, I
think
did.
I was all over
I
the
think
place.
he'd been drinking.
There was a guy. The thing is, there was a
He
guy.
was more drunk than I am now.
Oh,
There
so
was a guy
she's
cleaning
admitting
his
it.
car, and I hated going past him. So every time I went past him, I went round him. So I mustn't. Probably that's how I cut it off. So I was like really annoyed. So I thought, I'm giving up. Not doing anymore. Not doing anymore. So I give up. Did a video, and then got back in my car and drove home. I went out for another run. Just did a 5k. Thought I'll just try and get a sexy graph instead. And then I went out for a quick walk. It was a very quick-paced walk, so I thought I'll put it on as a bit of a Strava.
No, you can't do that. When you said that, I
Yeah,
was like, you
you
can't
can't
do that.
do that.
Well, I
This
did.
This,
I
No,
did.
you need to take that off.
No, I did, and I
Change
claimed
that
it.
activity.
I went for a quick recovery walk with Dexter,
Walk.
and
You just said walk.
inadvertently claimed a segment. So I
Get him
didn't
on.
Because
even
you
realise
registered
it.
it as a run.
It was called
Listeners,
Run
as a
to the
comment,
Boozer.
let us know what you think. Rob
Run to
walked
the
his
Boozer.
dog and claimed a local legend.
11
have got-
efforts in the last 90 days.
We have got a comment, funnily enough. You've got a new spice name, Emma. Leathered spice.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've got 4. So you can have it. I'm rubbish, clearly rubbish at segments. I researched it, thought I'm going to go and do it, and I picked a few out, and then I told Laura I was going to go out and do it. Laura's like, "You mad?" I was like, "Yeah, I am mad because I'm going to drive to a run it, drive to another run it." And Laura's like, "You're mad." And then I got back and I rang Laura and said to her, "I've done it the wrong way," and she absolutely wet herself laughing as well,
Love it.
even though she didn't understand what segments were.
On that, Emma, have you got live segment on your watch?
Yeah, and this is what I was going to come on to with when we talk about Strava and teaching Rob.
Shall we do that? Shall we do that now then? So well done, Emma. You won. Well done,
have a
Emma.
cocktail. Go on, treat yourself.
You won. I
I know
didn't.
this one's running out.
Is that everyone in the lobby clapping you for winning?
Yeah.
Right. So, is that a drum roll for me
Strava
teaching
teach.
you how to move?
Yep. Strava teaches.
Okay. So, well, first of all, you were set some homework, weren't you, to
I was.
start naming your runs, and I am
Yeah.
pleased to say you have got a A for that because you have been naming your runs. I've been keeping an eye on you, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Maximum effort on naming your runs, but I'll be monitoring, and if it drops off again, I'll pull you up on it again.
Okay. Thank
It's
you.
really important, and also I think it's important to name them because so everybody knows what you've actually done in that run. What was that run? It wasn't just a run, it was easy, it was club run, it was intervals. Anyway, so that was last week's homework, so well done. So back to the segments.
Yeah.
So when you're on the maps and you find a segment,
Yeah.
you can favourite that segment.
I did that actually.
And on
I don't know what it meant, but I did it.
On your watch, your Garmin, if
Yeah.
you've got live segments turned on, as you approach the segment, it will come up and it will say that you are on the segment, and it will
Okay.
tell you as you're running the segment if you are behind or ahead whoever is next to you on the leaderboard, and then when you finish the segment, it'll tell you if you have PB'd that segment. So it tells you who the current leader is. So I run quite a few, and they'll say like Jack's ahead of me. But when you've finished it, it'll say that either you've got a new PB or you have got the crown if you do the crown on that segment.
So how'd you do that on your watch then?
So I don't know.
That's your homework.
Miss, what's a crown?
I know how to do it.
What's a
because
crown?
I've got it. When you're at the top of the leaderboard, when you're the fastest. I've got a few of them, not many.
What's the leaderboard?
On Strava, on the segment leaderboard. So you go into the segment, and as you go into it, there's 2 different leaderboards. There's the local legend, whoever has ran it the most amount of times in 90 days. So that's consistent effort over 90 days. And then there is the crowns, who is the fastest, and that's separated for males and females. So I think the ladies are actually queens and the men are the kings.
Depends how they identify. In terms of the local legends, if someone's run once in 90 days, what happens on 91 days when that's not been run? Do you lose it?
Yeah, you do. Because I think I lost one through that. And you don't get notified. Whereas, if I went and stole somebody's local legends, they get an email. Doesn't
If you
matter.
only did a Stuart.
Yeah, because that's what happens, and it's mortifying. You get an email, and it tells you who stole them. So, but it's also motivating as well as mortifying to get out there and go and steal them back.
Caroline Morris asked, "Do you have to buy Strava to do that?" And you have to have a subscription to Strava, don't you? I think it's $8.99 a month.
I'm subscribed.
Well. Can you do it without the subscription?
I'm not sure because I've always subscribed, so I don't know what you don't get if you don't pay. So I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure you have to subscribe to get to do the segments. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll look into that as well. So we'll let you know.
Talking of subscribing, if you like what you're watching, subscribe to the channel, and watch us more often. Emma won't be pissed every week, but
I'm not.
Just next week we'll have more Strava segment tips.
So
not just segment tips, just Strava tips.
We'll have a look into how. So you can put live on your watch and it tells you when you're coming up to a segment.
It was very useful, to be fair, because
it beeps and it vibrates and everything.
It's that kind of thing. It's knowing. What I find sometimes is a little bit like Rob had. He got lost, didn't know where his Strava segment started and finished. Sometimes, so the one I did, which is called Lightwood's Dash, it goes on a pathway through a park, and then the park pathway goes round, but the actual segment carries on up this alleyway. And if you don't know that, you can go around the park path, but what you actually need to do is to carry on straight, and the live segment tells you how far you've got to go. So it is a very useful little tool.
Yeah, and if you come off segment, it'll say off segment, so you know that you've gone the wrong way. And me and Jack were actually running one together a couple of weeks ago, and Jack had revised it more than me, luckily, because there was a roundabout in the middle of the segment, and as we were approaching the roundabout, he said we need to go left round the roundabout. If we'd have gone right round the roundabout, we would have been off segment and we wouldn't have got it.
I went for a wee mid-segment the other day, and it said that.
That you went for a wee?
It didn't tell me I went for a wee, did it? I was running on the path, and I jumped into the bush to have a wee, and it told me I was off segment.
And then you got back on segment.
Got back on segment.
Okay, so we'll research. We'll research live how to put segment live. So that'll be next teaching session next week.
It's in. I don't know which watches it works on. I've got a Garmin, so I'm hoping it just works on most watches. But we'll have a look.
Okay. Is there homework this week?
Homework is for Rob to figure it out.
Oh right.
Sort your life out.
So figure it out. Just figure out life in general, not segments, but life in general.
Figure out how to switch them on live on your watch.
Okay, I'll do that.
And
I'll do that, and I'll report back. I'll report back. Okay, cool.
I'll have something else.
Okay. Shall we have a look at stryvar leaderboard?
Let's do it.
Mr. Rushton is waiting for us, so we can't keep him waiting too long. So in 5th spot with 72.8 miles, 13 runs, 12 miles being the longest, average pace of 8:02 and elevation of 3,996 foot. We have Martin Cross, so well done to Martin. In 4th spot with 74.4 miles, 8 runs, 11 miles being the longest, 908 minute miles, 3,292 foot. We have Sophie Gardner, so well done to Sophie. In 3rd spot with 76.4 miles, 10 runs in total, 31.8 being the longest run, 755 minute miles, elevation of 4,656 foot. We have Pat Buckingham, so well done to Pat Buckingham. In 2nd spot with 88.2 miles at 14 runs, longest being 20 miles, 652 minute miles, which is incredible as an average. And an elevation of 1,936 foot, we have Morgan Thompson. And top of the shop, yet again, with 110 miles this week, 13 runs in total, longest being 16.4 miles, average pace of 10:50, which is impressive, an elevation of 4,022 foot. We have the incredible Robbie Burns, who I believe he corrected me last week, and he said it wasn't 3 weeks in a row, it was 5 weeks in a row. So that's the 6th week in a row of doing over 100 miles in a week. So well done to Robbie Burns. Let's see if it carries on when you get back to work. If you can't see it happening, but fantastic running. 110 miles. That's that. 40 miles. I did 37 miles this week, and that was enough for me. So well done, Robbie. Have we got shout out of the week? I'm gonna go first. So my shout out of the week is to Ben Bungle Taylor. So Ben Bungle Taylor is a guy who we have actually interviewed at the Protein Rebel Festival of Running, and he is an inspirational runner. He's struggled with his own mental health in the past, and that episode will be coming out soon. I'm going to try and clip it up and get it out soon, and we are going to get him on the podcast actually to come and talk to us. He has run 100 miles before in the past, and he attempted 100 miles this week. I think it was yesterday or Saturday. I can't remember. Unfortunately, he didn't finish, but he was quite open and honest about it and the reasons for it, and which you don't very often see on Strava or on Instagram. The negatives of what happened. It's always normally, oh, look how good I am. I did this, I did that, and did the other. So Ben was quite open and honest about the DNF, and he owned it. And he said, I think he did 41 miles in total, which is incredible anyway. So there was a lot of, I think it was a lot of dehydration, more to do with dehydration. Looking at his stories and his posts, it was around dehydration and sweating quite a lot. And there was quite a lot of blisters on his side, which is really, really sore. And I think it was a medical decision as well as Ben's decision to end the actual run. But he did 40 odd miles. So well done to Ben Taylor, and incredible that you owned the DNF. And I'm sure you will be back bigger, better, stronger, and you will finish that 100 miles. So well done. And also, I want to give a shout out to Dan Pritchard as well, another ex-guest who has finished 100 miles. So well done to Dan Pritchard. He finished that yesterday, 35 miles, I think it was. 35 hours, sorry. So well done to Dan Pritchard. That's my shout out too. Sorry. Emma, who's your shout out of the week?
Mine is Robbie Burns. So he has just topped our leaderboard again. I went for a run with Robbie the other week, and he told me he wanted to do 100 miles a week for 6 weeks, and he's done it. So I'm really proud of him. Robbie is one of my fellow Biddulph Running Club members, and I just think it's great. He's set himself a goal, he's gone and done it, he's smashed it, so he gets my shout out. Well done, Robbie.
Well done, Robbie.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Ben, who's your shout out for?
Mine's going to some of the Silverdale runners. I'm going to mention these ones on Strava, particularly Kieran Gilbert, Leo Wheeler, Trevor Hoyle, and Alicia Gilbert, who have done what is a tradition at their club by the looks of it. Or so, according to Trev, Double Monday Club at SRC, bank holiday tradition that makes you question your life choices. So it looks like they run a double club session on a bank holiday Monday, 2 hours club session, and they all went out and completed a half marathon around Silverdale and beyond. So my shout out is to them, because I love running traditions and I love the fact they all did it as a club.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. I've got another shout out sent in by Pat Buckingham. Sent it in last week. He says, "Hey Rob, hope all is well, mate. Just thought I'd mention me, Kieran, and Paul Marshall are doing the Long Mind Hike 50-mile race for charity. It's on Facebook. We'll send you the details. I'll put the details in the bio for people that want to go and sponsor them. It's about Help Theo Thrive. We are doing long training runs and aim to try and complete it under 15 hours, but will be a massive challenge. If you can mention it on the podcast, that will be brilliant. We'll send you the details about both the charity and the race." Nice one. Thanks, mate. So Kieran Bedford's doing it with them as well. So it's 50 miles to help Theo thrive. On Saturday, 4th of March, Pat, Paul, and Kieran are taking on the challenging 50 mile, climbing over 8,500 feet in elevation and covering 8 summits over the rugged countryside of South Shropshire and the Welsh Marches. The training. Theo was born with a rare genetic condition in July 2024, SMA type 1 life-limiting disease causing muscle weakness and affects not only mobility but also breathing and swallowing. Theo received a £1.78 million gene therapy treatment in January 2025 at Manchester Children's Hospitals, which saved his life by preventing further progression of this awful disease. Continued therapies, however, will be a lifelong treatment for Theo to support a good quality of life alongside specialist equipment, not all of which are available on the NHS. And it's currently self-funded, and the family currently self-fund private physiotherapy, which is essential to enhance muscle function and improve mobility and prevent muscle and joint tightness. So they are raising money for that. So please, 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 please dig deep. The link will be in the bio if you want to go and sponsor them for doing a 50-mile hike in aid of Theo. So that's the shout outs today. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Steve Canning says that is a stupid hard event. You go for it, mate. Good luck. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Emma, in Turkey. You are allowed to go to bed now. It's 11:15 in Turkey. So go to bed, wake up in the morning and go for your treadmill run, and then get drunk again.
Yes, I will. Thanks.
Again. Thanks, guys. And we will.
Nervous giggle that confirmed it.
And we will see you all later.
See you later.